Hello and welcome back to Remember the Flowers. We'll be continuing where we left off, which, if you recall, is after the interlude episode, in which we get to see a little interaction between Cyrus and Ring and Vita, in which Vita takes out what is essentially like a tracking chip slash failsafe bomb from the back of Cyrus's head. And although Ring does appear to be sort of like, ugh, this human, we have to take care of him, ugh. He shows at least some genuine concern. So he's like Orion said, he's a tsundere. I think that's how you pronounce it. Tsundere. And we also got to see what's up with Cooper, the smelly little wolf boy. And he appears to have been approached by somebody from Resume, or more specifically the military portion of Resume, or the mercenary portion. And they apologized for having beaten him up, thinking that he was involved with, the resistance. And they returned his axiom, but also basically said like, hey, you want to join us, help us, take down the resistance that's causing us so much trouble? And apart from the fact that they lost Cyrus, I kind of have an inkling as to why they're approaching him, because of something that happens later on, but I can't tell you about that yet. But yeah, So he appears to be considering the offer, but perhaps he's being more opportunistic about it and being sort of like, yeah, sure, I'll do it, but, just so that I can get some free medical care, because he was severely beaten, and perhaps, just to get some money out of them or something, because he did show some genuine remorse, at least, for having betrayed Cyrus, and while he hates Axel, Ring, and Rose, it didn't look like he was all that happy with the fact that they were keeping tabs on them. Like, sure, he wants them to get their comeuppance, but he doesn't want them to die, perhaps? He just has that moment where he's like standing over them, it's like, ha! You get what you deserve, or something like that, but like not, see them get hurt, because a long time ago they were friends. But anyways, well, I guess we're going to have to see what happens with that. But for now, we're going to begin chapter 10, and we're going to be introduced to a new character. Well, I'm not going to tell you who it is yet. But yeah. Anywho, so without further ado, let's begin. I stare at myself in the bathroom mirror over and over again. It's been a day since my surgery with Vita, and for whatever reason, I feel a little agitated still. The sutures aren't super noticeable. They blend in well enough with the shaved hairs. But I can't get over the blatant chunk missing from the back of my head. Vita went too far with the razor. They shaved far enough out that you can see it on the side of my head. What part of the brain did they even attach it to? I'm not surprised that they didn't use them much. Even with that mild discomfort, I still feel at peace after the experience. Kanto confirmed that they won't be able to find me easily. That's good, at least. One thing gnaws at the back of my mind, though. Shouldn't Lance have ratted everyone out? It would make sense for him to. I'm pretty sure he thinks that they screwed him over. At the very least, he could have sold information to make a quick buck. I want to pick Aaron's brain. Although, maybe not. I'm pretty sure Lance is a sore spot for him. Kanto said that he was going to be busy for a little while, despite supposedly having time off. That only leads me to... I click the lights off and head into my bedroom to message Aaron. Hey Aaron, mind giving me Rose's Axiom ID? I wanted to see if we could do some sort of physical therapy today. He doesn't respond right away. I pace around my room while waiting. Sorry for the holdup. I wanted to ask her if it's okay to send it. She said not right now, but she'd be happy to meet you at the base in order to take you to her gym. That okay? I tried looking for an emoji section on the screen to give a thumbs up, but there doesn't seem to be one. Instead, I just reply normally. Sure, that sounds good. I'm going to find something to eat in the meantime. I wish I could bring something down for you, but I'm stuck at the bar and it's kinda busy. I can try to swing by for dinner. Don't push yourself. I need to adapt to living down here anyway. Have a good day at work. Aaron sends me a small picture of a heart. Wait, so there is an emoji menu. CAI, are there emojis on this thing? CAI beeps. Unfamiliar with the term. They're little pictures that you can send while texting. Kai takes a moment to respond. There is a button on the keyboard to access these emojis. Try the bottom left corner. I do as my expensive arm bracelet commands, and sure enough, a whole slew of emojis pop up. Thank you, Kai. Kai beeps in response. I send Aaron a pink heart back. I gotta say, it's nice being able to just text after all this time. I get my socks and boots on before heading to the break room to make some breakfast. Chapter 10. Adjusting. I find some pre-made trays of food stacked in the refrigerator. Vita told me that they're rations for people wanting to save some cash. Despite being glorified TV dinners, they're actually not bad. In fact, the one I'm eating tastes pretty good. Even though it's vacuum sealed, the meat and vegetables were preserved well. The microwave-like device didn't overcook them at all either. I guess whoever runs this joint is capable of caring for their workers. I assume this is Titania that Vita name-dropped the other day. I wonder what they're like. I'd assume relatively decent if they went to all this trouble to fund a covert resistance. I look at the wall while swirling my mashed potatoes, getting lost in thought. I really should try to find out if Kai has any sort of journal function. Boo! Rose jumps out from below the other side of the table, causing me to sling some potatoes across. I can feel my artificially enhanced heartbeat faster. Jesus, Rose, what the hell? Sorry, just wanted to make sure that you're still alive. You keep that up, and I won't be. I'm not exactly young, you know. Yeah, you're like, what, a bajillion years old? Something closer to 328, I think. Glad to see your sense of humor survive this long. Nah. Har har. Rose sloppily pulls up a chair and sits with me. Ooh, can I have some? No. Please? Rose, you're a big girl. You can make a tray yourself. I'm hungry. Fine. Rose starts to noisily set up her own food in the microwave. I go back to eating my own. Eventually, I sense that she's right behind me. Mainly due to the fact that she starts poking my shaved head. Whoa, gnarly. You do this yourself? I can tell. She starts to feel the shaved hairs, but then I move my head away. You're not allowed to touch Vita's orders. Oh, yikes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm still on their shit list. Is it because of the arm you broke? Fuck, is it that noticeable? Rose, you told us about it like a week ago. Oh, whoops. Yeah, my memory's not that great. I can relate. I'm kinda stunned. I barely know this woman, but it seems like we're meshing pretty well. She was kind of nice to me while transporting, I think. I don't recall much except... Oh, right. The thing I wanted to ask. Hey, so I do have some serious things that I wanted to talk to you about. Do you want to wait till we get to the gym? The hyena affirms with a mouth full of ham. I rest my cheek on my hand for a moment, sipping some water. If you gave me your ID, you could have texted and told me to make you one of those, you know. Rose takes a hearty sip of water before exhaling. Ha, sorry, Sai, but I still want to be at least a little bit curious. A bit surprised Aaron gave you his already. Kanto, too. I say it casually, but Rose still looks shocked. He did, too? Yeah, he wanted to put his ID in my Axiom so we could talk if I needed him. Damn. Rose taps the table with one of her mechanical fingers. Well, maybe someday I'll give you mine. I don't really use my Axiom anyway. Where is it? I don't see one. She presents her prosthetic arm to me. There's a port above the wrist. I get this thing repaired like once every few months. Makes using it as an axiom kind of annoying. I just keep everything personal to me at home. Have you thought about just taking better care of it? You'll find that I don't think about a lot of things. Fair enough. Rose finishes scarfing down her tray of food before she takes my half-eaten tray and throws them both away. I wasn't done with that. Sorry, Sai, but we got work to do. She starts gesturing for me to get up. What? Why? Your therapy, remember? You to send me over a good routine for you to do for the next few months. I did make some tweaks, though. She starts flexing her metal hand, as if she's getting excited. I've been operated on numerous times, but this is the first time in a long while that I felt an inkling of fear. I assume we'll head to your gym then? Yupper! Come on, let's go! Okay, give me a sec. I get up from my chair and stretch. Rose takes the opportunity to grab my hand and starts dragging me along. Hey, be careful. Unlike your arm, mine doesn't come off easily. Don't worry, we can fix that. What? Rose keeps me close while we're walking through the town near the base. She made it a point that I wear Lance's hoodie on the way. Everything okay? Just making sure only the right people see you. We're gonna head in through the back. Every now and then, someone talks to her as we walk by. She keeps me on the opposite side of her, towards the wall. If this was a bad idea, we could have just done it at the base. Most of the equipment I have is here. It'd be a hassle to bring them back and forth every day. Surprised you don't have a capsule port thing here. You kidding? You know how expensive those are? Not a clue, if I'm honest. Speaking of honesty, do you want some help with your hair later? It looks like shit, no offense. Her bluntness catches me off guard. I can't help but let out an exhale. That's rude, but not wrong. I used to shave my head back in the day, but that was years ago. Good thing you have me. I handle the hair of a lot of people at work and some at the gym if I have time. How much do you charge? About 50 plums, but I'll let it slide for you. You don't have to give me special treatment. I have some cash from Aaron. So I usually do 75 plums a session. Are you seriously trying to scam someone who barely has any money? It was worth a shot. Right. Rose starts cackling as she takes me through the back entrance of her gym. Welcome to the Energym, Cyrus, run by yours truly. The hyena presents the space with a bit of pizzazz. There are a few people who look our way and wave, but most just stick to working out. For some reason, I start feeling anxious. Don't worry, they're harmless. Well, not entirely. They could probably rip you in half if they wanted to. Okay, thanks. Rose snickers before pulling me towards another room. My office is over here. We can go over everything privately before putting you to work. Alright. Can you cool it with the yanking? I can still walk, you know. That's not what Axel told me. He said that he had to carry you home the other day. Hey, come on, it was an emergency. Must have been. He's usually pretty wary about physical contact nowadays. Rose doesn't give me a chance to ask why before she flings me into her office. Here I wanted an Axel body pillow. Well, what do you think? She gives her office the same introduction as her gym. Jazz hands. I think I'm starting to get a headache. It just looks like a normal office, albeit with some tools strewn about. Not nearly as messy as I would have thought. She has a desk with a bunch of papers on it, along with a couple of ratty couches nearby. It's an office? I don't know what you want me to say. Looks usable, I guess? Glad to hear it. It's also been vacuum sealed from the outside, so no one can hear us. Yeah? Why's that? When the gang comes in, we need a place to chat. Aaron's bar has a basement that we sometimes use too. Rose leans in close to me. Sometimes we have meetings we don't want our boss to find out about. Oh. She stands straight back up and points to the axiom in her prosthetic arm. I want to give you some tips to being secret around here. Number 1, keep in mind that the axiom has some of the best protection you'll find. Kanto's tried his damnedest, but even he can't hack into it. Okay. Number 2, keep an eye on body language. We each have a secret sign that we use when we need to meet in private. Slow down. The hyena in fact does not slow down and continues to list off a myriad of ways to maneuver being outside of the base. This is not the kind of training I had in mind. I just try and nod along without interrupting. You get all that? I got like 25% of it. Better than my test at school at least. Don't worry, there's plenty of time. Not like you'll be out and about without us that often. How are you feeling about all this? You okay? The hyena talks too fast. I'm starting to get a headache just from trying to understand her. Rose, are you like, okay? Me? Yeah. Why? What's up? I can't tell if you're always this over-enthusiastic, or if you're trying to cover up your anxiety by being so manic. That gets her to keep her mouth shut for a moment. Just a moment, though. What can I say? I want to make sure that you're okay. I thought I was, but I'm kind of getting overwhelmed with everything right now. Can we please go a little slower? I have some questions I wanted to ask you too. Rose fidgets with her prosthetic arm. Sure. Maybe after we start working out? Why didn't you stop Lance from leaving? The hyena phrases. That's a bit complicated. Then tell me. I promise not to get mad, I'm just curious. You didn't let Kanto or Aaron know about him. I had to tell them that he was there. Rose doesn't respond right away. When she does, I'm surprised that she still sounds sort of chipper. Well, I didn't want to make Aaron sad. He really blames himself for what happened to both Xavier and Lance. Rose walks over to her desk, sliding her paw over it as she passes it. You want to know what I think about Lance too, don't you? I do, if that's all right. I suppose you have the right to know. He did up and sell you. She starts tapping her desk with the middle fingers, which makes an unnatural thumping sound. Compared to Kanto, or even Aaron, I don't think I necessarily hate him. Don't get me wrong, he's a piece of shit, but... She stops tapping. I think I just pity him too much to really hate the guy. He's just really pathetic. Rose turns to face me. She's smiling, but her eyes have a hint of sadness. The last time I saw him was years ago, after he sold Xavier. I was so mad that I smashed his face in. She pauses. Even then, I don't remember the last time I saw Aaron that mad. Honestly, I'm surprised Lance is still alive. I guess cockroaches really can't live through anything. Did you like Xavier? Not as much as Aaron, but yeah, I did. Xavier had been through a lot, but he was always the first to try and smile, no matter what. He was really thankful for Aaron saving him, and for us protecting him. Well, trying to protect him anyway. I give her a moment. Cyrus, I think there's something that you should know about Aaron. He really loved Xavier, and Xavier loved him back. They became inseparable. After Reggie died, I think Lance grew more and more envious of their relationship. They even moved in with each other. Rose hesitates to continue. I know you've been through a lot, maybe even more than Xavier. That's why I have a personal request. What is it? I want you to be patient with Aaron, if you can. I can already tell that he's being pretty protective over you. I nearly got him in trouble with our boss. He just doesn't want another Xavier to happen. Rose scratches the back of her head. None of us do, if I'm honest. If you need any help, please don't hesitate to ask. I'll have you know I'm pretty good at bashing people's faces in. I don't doubt it. I do appreciate it, although I try to flex my twig of an arm. I wouldn't mind being able to protect myself if I needed to. Well, you came to the right place. But before all that, Rose pulls up her office chair to sit at her desk. Is there anything else you wanted to ask? She gestures towards one of the couches. I make my way over to plop down on one. It's a bit tattered, but pretty comfortable. Well, actually, there is. Since you mentioned Xavier. Oh yeah? What? Before I continue, I do want to make it clear that I'm not entirely sure what happened to him. However, I want your opinion as to whether or not I should talk to Aaron about what I know. Why's that? Call it instinct, but I feel like he's the kind of guy to abandon all reason to help someone in need. That certainly sounds like him. That's what worries me. I don't want to give him false hope only for it to be pointless. I guess that depends on what you know then, huh? Yeah. Do you want to tell me? It takes me a moment to answer. I don't think Rose is the kind of person to go around gossiping. Hell, she didn't even let the crew know about Lance. Under her rough and somewhat immature exterior, I think she's actually pretty pragmatic and cautious. She hasn't even told me her real name yet. She actively worked around having me add her to my axiom as well. Xavier might still be alive, but it's a big might. I don't know where he is or what they've done with him. I close my eyes and try to focus. I remember hearing about him when Resume got him back. They mentioned taking him somewhere new, where he wouldn't be able to get out. I swallow. Somewhere that anyone who escapes can look forward to, should they be caught. That won't happen to you, Sai. We'll make sure of it. Rose tries to comfort me. I didn't realize it, but I'm starting to shake. I take a breath to calm myself. I hope not. Regardless, I don't want to let the fear control my life. I lean back against the couch to stare up at the ceiling. Even though my emotions are rather stunted, I want to at least try to live normally. Well, as normally as I can. Rose starts to clap, which makes me look at her. Quite the speech, Sai. It takes fortitude to still have the will to live after everything. I'm not sure I'd go that far. Honestly, it might be more out of spite at this point. A big fuck you to Resume and whatnot. Spite is a hell of a motivator. I know I wouldn't have gotten this far without it. Oh yeah? What's that? Well... Rose looks over at the clock on the wall. That might be a story for another time. We really should get started soon. Vita will get pissed if we're just killing time like this. You're really scared of them, aren't you? Terrified. But that's what I like about them. Rose shivers playfully. You should see them when they get really mad. Actually, no, you shouldn't. I will do my best to stay on their good side then. That's harder than you'd think, but I wish you luck nonetheless. Rose gestures to me to go over to her. Come here, let me put my ID into your axiom. We can chat through all the hours of night if you want. Really? Are you sure? I'm not very smart, but I like to think that I have fairly good instincts. I can usually tell when people are lying or not, although Aaron's better at it than I am. You can tell people's heart rates too? Pretty much. When you were telling me about wanting to protect Aaron's feelings, I knew you were being genuine. Aaron means a lot to me, Cyrus. I don't want him to hurt anymore either. She starts gesturing me over faster. Now come on, let me show you my awesome name. I can't help but crack a smile. What a weird woman. I like her. It takes me some effort to get off the couch. I didn't realize how much I sunk into it. Be right there. Cut this old man some slack, would you? Oh, please. We'll get some fire back in your steps before you know it. She cackles to herself as I walk over. I present my axiom to her with the ID screen open. He really gave you his axiom, huh? Whose? The screen is a lot weirder than the rest I've seen. How do I add it? She ignores me as she fumbles with her own axiom. Here, I think I could do it like this. She slides her screen towards my direction, causing a profile to pop up. Now don't laugh, I know it's not the most unique name, but that's the beauty of codenames. Rose says with a hint of bashfulness. Let's see... Karen Streiser? That's me! Cool, right? You're flip-floppy, you know that. I really can't get a read on you. Sure, it's cool, I guess. Pretty too. Aw, stop. You're gonna make me blush. She pulls me in close so that she can give me a noogie. Gotta keep you on your toes, Cyrus Catwell. Hey, stop. My hair is already a mess as it is. So true. After we have a good workout, let me tidy up. The first session is on me. How kind of you. Can you let go of me now? Nope. Let's go. She keeps me close to her as she stands up. Her abs are really, really hard. The pit of anxiety starts to grow in my stomach again. What is this crazy woman going to have me do? To my surprise, Karen is actually pretty gentle with the training. She gives me some weights to try curling and lets me rest frequently. She cheers a little too much though. The rest of the gym goers keep glancing over at me. I guess I can't blame them. Karen gave me some spare workout clothes which makes me stand out. Just a tank top and some gym shorts. Not a very concealing outfit, which leads to the gawking. Karen snarls at them to focus on their own regimens, which gets them to stop looking. I appreciate that. By the way, why is this called the Energym? Oh, there are machines in the basement that store energy. The kinetic movement the exercise equipment produces helps to charge batteries down there. Karen points to a line working out. He's using one of those machines where you pull the line as far as you can away from the wall. A lot of the tech we have nowadays is powered by stuff like this. It's a lot cleaner and not nearly as expensive as Lodestar tech. Huh. The line working out lets go of the rope, causing it to violently fly back into the machine. He's sweating quite a lot and panting. It's pretty intense to charge certain batteries. We figured that we could kill two birds with one stone by letting people work out along with making extra energy. Are there other buildings like this? Loads! Some people even make a living just by working out like this. I see. I didn't think it was a chain. Kind of. This one is my specific property though, along with the garage next door. I was wondering what all those tools were for. I take it you're a mechanic? Sometimes, yeah. That's enough yapping though. We got work to do. Yes, ma'am. She continues to be gentle with me as she gives me gear. Not overprotective like Aaron, but she's definitely aware of how much I'm able to handle. She spots me when I try to bench press 10 pounds. It's a bit embarrassing that I can barely do that. Baby steps, I guess. We work out for a few more hours. It's honestly kind of fun and helps the time fly by. I'm exhausted by the end of it. A good kind of exhausted. Beats being operated on, that's for sure. Karen hands me a wet towel and some water. Drink slowly, it's kind of strong. I guess it's the weirdly thick water. Thanks. What is this stuff anyway? I smack my lips after taking a sip. Just a vitamin-infused blend that I came up with a few years ago. It'll give you some energy as you rest. Oh, you make this concoction. Sure did. Wow, that's impressive. What did I say about making me blush? She moves in for another noogie, but instead just goes to ruffle my sweaty hair. Vita says that we should do this a few times a week. Is that alright with you? I don't see why not. It's not like I have anything planned for the immediate future. Cool. If we have time later, I want to show you what I'm working on next door. Sounds like someone just wants free labor. Aw, I knew you were a smart guy. Glad you catch on fast. Right. The hyena starts to cackle again. I can't help but chuckle under my breath. We rest for a while longer, before she starts beckoning me back into her office. Oh no, what? Time for your haircut! Oh fuck. Well, how bad could it be? With a bit of reluctance, I hobble my way over to her. We'll do it in the garage next door. That's where I keep all my equipment. I put my jacket back on with a bit of worry. Can't wait. She's actually quite professional. Well, as professional as a barber shop can be in an auto shop, I guess. She wastes no time washing my hair before starting to trim it. Gonna get rid of all these split ends first. Did you want to try shaving the rest of it down? Honestly, I'm not too sure. I haven't thought about doing my hair in quite a while. My old haircut was touching up my shaved sides. The hyena starts to dry my hair before brushing it back down. Want me to try to do that on one side at least? Just having this part shaved down is not a good look. I'm not exactly sure what styles are in right now, as you can imagine. If you want, I could let you decide. Well, if you want to keep the length, I could just shave the side, some of the back and trim out the bangs. Sounds like a good a plan as any. Go nuts. She starts to snip with her scissors, with a bit of chaotic energy. Thought you'd never say so. There's some part of me that still thinks that this could be my most gruesome operation to date. She wastes no time getting out the razor and starts on the side of my head. Again, she's rather gentle when she starts getting to work. She makes sure to be wary of the stitches and carefully shaves the hair around them. The familiar feeling of a shaved head starts to hit me. It's nostalgic. Karen takes in a deep breath once she finishes. Phew! Remind me not to work on someone fresh out of surgery again. Don't worry, I won't tell Vita about it. You kidding? I'm sure they'll be able to tell as soon as you see them. Oh well, I can tell you really wanted this. Maybe. She starts to hum as she methodically snips away more and more hair. My worries start to fade away. The exhaustion of the earlier workout makes me want to fall asleep. I try to keep myself up a little while longer. My sleep schedule is messed up as it is. And done. Here, let's get you into a mirror. She heaves out a prideful huff as she hastily brushes the excessive hair off. I don't have a moment to protest before she zips me up across the room. My bangs are a lot shorter now, but they frame my face much better. The shaved side looks a lot better than whatever Vita improvised. I run my fingers through it, feeling the familiar sensation after centuries. It looks really good. I guess I shouldn't be surprised anymore. You're pretty capable. Aw shucks, I'm just glad you liked it. Just remember, next time I'll charge ya. Oh, I'm aware. Hopefully by then I'll have picked up a part-time job or something. You sure that's a good idea? No clue. We'll have to see, I guess. For the first time in a long while, my future is a mystery to me. Who knows what might happen? Well, you should try to take it easy for a little while, at least until you get some strength back. She unwraps a towel she had around my shoulders and helps me up. I was going to see if you wanted to help me with some cars now that you have some free time, but you look pretty worn out. Yeah, I can't deny that. When do you want me to come over again? Vita says every 3 days for the next month. After that, if all goes well, just 2 times a week. Then yeah, we can work on cars one of those days. Woo! Thanks, Sai. I appreciate the help. Heh, no worries, but, yeah. I would like to get home and take a shower. No time like the present. Let's go. The hyena starts to drag me around again. I feel like I'm basically a rag doll, so I just go with the flow. Yes, ma'am. She freezes after opening the door back to the gym, letting go of my hand. Ring? To both our surprises, the orange half-dragon greets us on the other side.
Ah, you are here. Good. I came to pick up Cyrus.
Oh, I was just about to head over with him.
Well, you still have work, right?
For a few more hours. Why?
Aaron wanted me to bring the old man over to the bar for a bit. He said he has something for us to do.
Can it wait? Cyrus is pretty tuckered out.
Work hard, huh?
You could say that. Kinda pathetic that I can barely bench 10 pounds, though.
Just take it slow. No need to rush when you've got all the time in the world.
Between you and me, I think I've had a little too much time. Kanto chuckles at that.
What a problem to have. If it's too much, I'm sure Aaron would understand. He's a big softy, after all.
That he is. I'll see you soon, Cyrus. Remember to get lots of rest, and take your vitamins. Sure. I'll need to find some first.
Keep your hood up while we're out. It's a few minutes to the capsule station. You remember where it is, right?
Vaguely, I assume the Axiom has a map, if I ever get lost.
It should. You'll get used to the route soon enough.
I think you're relying on my memory a bit too much there.
Trust me, I'd avoid it if I could. Come on, let's get going.
I nod and put my hood up, waving goodbye to Karen before making my way through the city with Kanto. I'm not sure I'll ever get used to these capsule machines. The heat of the desert is quickly replaced with the cold of the mountain.
I don't know how he can stand living up here.
Kanto is shaking a lot more than I am. That gets me curious as we're walking through the fresh snow. Say, are you cold-blooded or warm-blooded? Kanto takes a moment, but not before letting out an annoyed grunt.
Mainly warm-blooded. Some parts of me have cold blood, like my tail and a few organs.
Oh, I never knew hybrids work like that.
There aren't many of us around. I'm not surprised.
I was going to say, I don't think I've ever met one before. Back when I was learning medicine, I came across a few articles about them. That was centuries ago, though. All I can recall is how difficult it can be to treat them.
Why? What's it to you?
Just kind of curious, I guess.
Well, I may be a freak, but you definitely beat me by a long shot.
I cocked my head to the side. I wasn't aware this was a competition. I use whatever remains of my social skills to deduce that I should stop talking. Oh well, gives me a moment to take in the scenery. It's cold and cloudy, but there's still lots of people walking around. I wonder where we are. I bring my Axiom out to try to find a map. Since we're in public, I decide to turn the mental link back on. Yes, operator. How may I help you? Is there a map function that I could use? I want to see where we are. One moment, please. Kai switches on a map of the nearby area. I try pinching the screen to zoom out. Yeah, this is definitely the United States. Or rather, what's left of it. It's familiar but also different. There aren't any state divisions, at least not on this one. Even so, I'd say we're somewhere in what's left of Alaska. There are several holes on the map. I assume those were left by the Seven Stars. Just the thought of that makes me feel queasy. I slide my Axiom screen off again. Kai, disable mental link, please. Understood, operator. I shake my head and try to get rid of those nasty thoughts. Instead, I try to think of something more comforting. Aaron is the first thing that comes to mind. I wonder why Aaron would want to live so far away. It must be a safety thing. Wouldn't be surprised if his condo is safer than the underground base. Surely some people from Zoom must know about it. I'm already stressing. Karen is right. I should take it easy. Against my better judgment, I try talking to Kanto again. We've walked a few blocks. Are we almost there?
Almost.
Have y'all thought of setting up castle ports where you work?
Not a good idea. This way, if anyone from Resume ports into town, we can try to make a getaway.
Oh, that makes sense.
We learned that lesson the hard way.
What about the ones to your houses?
Those aren't connected to the public grids.
See. Kanto stops to look at me before pointing at a building with a bright neon sign.
There's the bar. It's the building at the end of the street.
Starlight Road. Kind of a weird name.
He didn't want to change it after buying it. He really turned it around. It's one of the busiest places in town on the weekend. Hell, I'll sometimes port over here just to have a good time.
Dang, you drink at all?
Sometimes. Being part cat makes it difficult. I'm kind of a lightweight.
I could see that. Damien wasn't able to keep a lot down either.
Who's Damien?
Oh. I guess my ex, although we never technically broke up.
Before the fall?
I nod. Kanto looks at the ground for a moment.
While we're here, I'll get you a drink to celebrate being a bachelor again.
I furrow my brows. I can't tell if he's trying to lighten the mood or if he's being a dick. Kanto rolls his eyes.
It was a joke.
Ah, okay. The dragon grumbles.
Come on, hurry it up. It's cold out here.
Lead the way. Before we set foot into the bar, Kanto kicks his boots clean of snow. I do the same. I'm glad mine are closed-toe. I bet those open-toe boots get mad cold. Not having claws has its perks. When Kanto opens the door to the bar, I'm surprised by how loud it is inside. It reminds me more of a dance club than a pub. Kanto holds my arm as we make our way through. He starts yelling in my direction. I can barely hear him.
It's usually like this on Saturdays. Stay close.
Okay. I cough, not used to raising my voice. Kanto is an expert at navigating through the crowd. This place is a lot bigger than I thought. Eventually, we make our way to an empty section of the bar. A familiar tiger has his back turned to us as he's busy organizing his inventory.
Hey, Axel.
Aaron's ears flick as he looks behind us. Oh, there you two are. Here, come down to the end. Kanto leads me down a bit further. I'm glad. I'm getting distracted by all the flashing lights and people dancing. It's a little more quiet down here, thankfully. As fun as this place looks, it's a bit more noisy for me. Sorry for bringing you both down here. I appreciate you coming. Kanto pulls up a stool for me before sitting on his own. How gentlemanly. Why is it so empty over here? This is the VIP section. If you're ever in town, feel free to show up. I'll always have a spot for you. Oh, thank you, Aaron. I'll keep that in mind.
So, what is it you wanted to talk about?
He cuts straight to the point. Well, you see, I have a request for both of you. Kanto grunts in response.
You know I'm supposed to be on leave.
I know, but this is a personal request. You don't have to do it, but I'd appreciate the help. Aaron slides a drink to Kanto. Please? Kanto groans before taking the drink. Aaron smiles. What about you, Cyrus? Do you want anything? Just some water, I guess. I'm not familiar with modern cocktails. Not really in the mood to drink either. Coming right up. The tiger spins around to grab a glass. He's being a little over the top. It's just water. He balances the cup on a claw as he grabs his soda gun, filling it up while still keeping it steady. Soon after, he slides it my way, but not before putting a little paper umbrella in it for good measure. It's so silly that I can't help but chuckle. Wow, thanks, Aaron. But you don't have to do all that, though. It's just water. When I'm on the clock, I do. He says it as he shoots me a finger gun. I see. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Kanto groans loudly.
You're both so corny.
Thank you.
Get to the point.
Okay. Aaron pulls out a piece of paper and slides it towards us. I think it's a list, but I can barely read it. The fact of the matter is, we have someone renting out the place tomorrow night. I know it's sudden, but I need help getting supplies. They want to throw a party.
Why can't you just order them yourself?
I would, but my night manager called out earlier today. I wouldn't be able to run home to get them. Can you just have them delivered here or at the base? Aaron looks worried. Ideally, I'd like to keep the supplies in the basement, but I don't know when I'd get the chance to go down there. Huh? Kanto leans in closer to whisper something.
We call the base the basement while we're out.
Oh. If you could get those supplies and bring them down, I'd appreciate it. I also need help setting up everything tomorrow. After that, it's your call. I think you'd have a good time, specifically, Ring. Kanto raises an eyebrow before taking another sip of his drink. I'll reimburse you for everything, obviously. What do you say? The dragon taps the bar with his clawed finger.
Fine. But can you send the list to my Axiom? You know I can't read your chicken scratch.
What? Really? I've been practicing more. He looks a bit disappointed.
It might be time to let it go, boss.
Aaron grumbles sheepishly. I decide to chime in. I could teach you if you wanted. Although I feel like the Axiom is more convenient. Really, Cyrus? You do that for me? It's not that big of a deal. Plus, it's the least I can do. Aaron starts getting excited. Nonsense! You won't believe how hard it is to find a good writing tutor around here. I'd be happy to pay for your services. Let's take this one step at a time. The pounding music and the workout from earlier are starting to take a toll on me. I don't even know if I can go out shopping. Thankfully, Kanto steps in.
Axel, Cyrus had a pretty extensive session with Rose earlier. I can buy everything myself. I'll drop them off in the basement later.
Oh, that's right. You started therapy today. Sorry, Cyrus. It slipped my mind. It's okay. I'm feeling pretty tired, though. It's been a hot minute since I've exercised.
A hot minute?
Another way to say it's been a while.
Ah.
In that case, Ring? You sure you'll be okay? It is a decent amount of stuff.
Sure. I'm already here. Might as well kill some time before I head home.
Kanto finishes his drink before standing up.
I'd appreciate it if another drink was waiting for me when I get back, however.
Consider it done. Mind taking Cyrus home?
Was already planning to. You alright to go, Cyrus?
Sure, just let me finish this water. Kanto grumbles before sitting back down. Soon after, he and Aaron start talking about this or that. I use this as an opportunity to look around. Damn, it's packed in here. The dance floor is on the other side of the building. There's a stage where pole dancers are performing as well. A snow leopard catches my eye. He's really good.
What, Cy? You want to go dancing?
Kanto turns around and catches my attention. Oh, not today. Some other time, maybe. I can't remember the last time I stepped foot in a bar like this. It's nostalgic. A smile creeps up on my lips. I'd like to, though, for old time's sake. Kanto drops his smarmy attitude and turns to look at the dance floor.
I haven't danced in a while either. Maybe tomorrow.
You'll have to show me what dances are in right now.
Like I'm any good at dancing. Hurry up and finish your drink.
Yes, sir. Ring gets me back to the capsule station and helps me get home. He's staying in town for a bit to get the shopping done, so it's just me for the rest of the afternoon. Oh well, nothing to complain about. My social battery's pretty empty after all that. It takes a little longer than usual for me to get back to the break room. I'm more worn out than I originally thought. Along the way, a few people ask if I need any help. Using the walls for support doesn't make me look any better. I just say no thank you and assure them that I'm just tired. Aaron would probably be mad at that, but I don't think it's worth bothering people over. To be fair, I have every right to say I've been through worse. When I finally make it back to the break room, I immediately make a beeline to the faucet. The tap water here tastes richer than I thought. Maybe I'm just that dehydrated. Once my thirst is properly quenched, I decide to look for a meal. My axiom says it's a little after 5 p.m. It's earlier than I usually eat, but I basically skipped lunch. I'll need to remind Rose to have us break for a meal next time. I rummage around for a little bit to try to find something that looks good. The boxes don't have a lot of descriptions on them. Just vague labels like hearty meat or sweet treat, along with lists of anything allergy related. Are these homemade? They should really label them or something. The going theory is that there's a specific employee that makes all the food down here, but they just buy stuff from above and repackage it so that there's not much of a trail. That's the most logical thing I can come up with. Even that sounds pretty stupid. Apparently they have a service where you can order meals for the week, but they only take orders on Sundays. I'll have to make do with some of the generic stuff until tomorrow. Oh well. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I could stand to broaden my horizons. Surely everything here is edible, right? I end up picking a box labeled light fish and opening it. It looks like fish and rice with little bits of what I assume is green beans. It says that it takes about 5 minutes to cook. That worries me a bit, but I've seen these new microwaves work pretty well before. Grabbing another glass of water, I sit down and wait for my meal. I can't help but sprawl out on the table. It's rather cool and I'm still feeling hot after today's session. Man, if only Damien could see me now. I'm the weakest I've ever been. Baby steps, I guess. I almost fall asleep, but then some people walk into the break room and I jolt up. Woo, see? It's the ghost of the halls. I told you he was real. The dog points at me, causing what I assume are his teammates to shake their heads. Seriously, do you have any tact? What? You all didn't believe me when I told you about him yesterday. It's not that we didn't believe you. It's that we already knew about Cyrus. He's not a ghost. Could have fooled me with that hair. Since when do you know about him? Since we all attended that meeting after he got rescued. Well, we isn't the right word. You were asleep the whole time. Oh. They continue talking about me as if I'm not here, something I've gotten quite used to. Sorry about that, sir. We'll make sure that he doesn't bother you. It takes me a second to figure out who Sir is. Oh, it's fine. I'm used to being gawked at all day. See? He's fine with it. The iguana smacks the husky's ear, causing him to growl. The hell was that for? Your annoying attitude. They start getting into a verbal argument. Reminds me of a pair I know. The bunny walks up to me. Sorry, we didn't mean to bother you. We just needed to grab some food before we head out. It's no big deal, really. Well, I appreciate it. She extends her paw to me. I'm going by Marissa right now. The two stooges over there are Oscar and Stan. Out of habit, I reach out and shake her paw. I'm Cyrus Cantwell. Pleasure. The rabbit perks her ears up and smiles. It's great to finally meet you. We've heard so many stories over the past few days. How's Tusk doing? Who? I don't know anyone by that name. Oh damn, that's right. Hey Oscar! She yells as if they're not right there. The husky pauses their rant against the iguana. What? What's Tusk going by now? Oscar is about to respond, but it's clear he's stumped too. He goes by Axel now. Oh, I knew that! Sure you did. Oh, Tusk must be an old code name. He's doing well. He's been taking good care of me the past several days. Well, that certainly sounds like him. We've been meaning to pop into the bar sometime, but we've been running all over the place. Speaking of... She zips past me and grabs a bunch of supplies in a flurry. We really gotta get going. Hopefully, when we get some time off, we can talk some more, yeah? Sure. I give her a thumbs up. She cocks her head to the right. When am I going to learn? Yeah, next time. Well, Alright. Come on, guys. We gotta get going. She walks between them and gets them to stop their arguing, but not before cursing one last time. Thankfully, the quiet returns almost as quickly as it left. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but I would appreciate some alone time. Being called sir is weird too. I wonder what they've been told about me. I guess I'm considered valuable, but I wouldn't think that'd imply any sort of rank. Hey Cyrus, you there? I was so distracted that I didn't even notice another person standing right next to me. Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you come in. They have their hood up. I can't get a good look at their face. I just got here. Is Aaron around? No, sorry. I think he's still at work. Alright, thanks. See you later. I didn't get a chance to reply as they head out. The way that they walk catches my attention. I can't hear footsteps or anything. Man, there sure are a lot of weirdos around here. It really feels like home, in a weird way. Wait, did he say Aaron? Even though this bathroom is pretty bare bones, the shower is still quite nice. It is awkward trying to avoid getting my stitches wet. I just try to tilt that side of my head away from the water. Despite how cumbersome it is, the shower was much needed. I haven't sweated that much in a long time. Oh, that reminds me. I don't have a washer and dryer. I'll need to find a laundromat down here, or something. Kai, are you sure you're waterproof? Yes, operator. I can be submerged for up to 48 hours before system malfunction occurs. I see. It is a bit weird to bring something like this into the shower, but I didn't feel like trying to take it off. Maybe this is why Lance didn't shower that much. I turn the water off and then dry the wet side of my hair before I brush my teeth. Wonder if Kanto got everything for tomorrow. I feel bad for not being able to help him. I gargle some water before spitting it down the drain. I'm content to relax on my bed for the rest of the evening. Hope I'm not too tired for the party tomorrow. It sounds like it'll be fun. I don't know how Aaron manages a big bar like that, but he seemed to be in his element. Kai dings. New message from Aaron Cosmos. Would you like me to read it to you? Thank you, Kai, but I can check them myself. Of course. I sit up to read the message. Hey Cyrus, we're going to try to get the party set up around 10 tomorrow morning. If you're feeling up to it, could you meet us at around 1:45? I'd appreciate it. He ends his message with a small white tiger emoji. That's adorable. I message back. I'll be happy to help. I don't have anything planned for the next couple of days. Let me know if you need anything. Aaron replies with an okay hand emoji. That survived, but not the thumbs up. People had weird priorities during the apocalypse. Kai, can you turn the lights off? Certainly, operator. Instantly, the lights turn off, leaving me in a pitch-black darkness. Very handy. I don't bother getting out of my towels, instead opting to fall asleep like this. I managed to make it to the bar by myself the next day. I made sure to keep my wits about me while I walked, but it was uneventful. I barely walked through the doors before I hear Kanto curse.
Why the fuck am I doing this on my Sunday?
I shut the doors. It catches the dragon's attention, but he doesn't say anything. He just continues to grumble away as he mops the floors. Aaron looks sheepish behind the bar. It's weird to see the place so empty after yesterday. Busy night last night? You could say that. I'm a bit out of practice. I usually only work during the day. I'm sure you did great, but from what I've seen, you're a capable leader. Well, I certainly try. Thanks for coming out. We got some setting up to do later. Do you need any help? I nearly jump as the hooded stranger from yesterday seemingly appears out of nowhere. Wait, what are you doing here? Is it weird for me to show up to my own party? Well, yes. You shouldn't have to do any work for it, at least. Didn't you want it to be a surprise? I think he'll be very surprised. The stranger rests against the bar, watching the angry dragon sweep up last night's spilt drinks. He has a soft smile on his face. Oh, I think I get it. I turn to Aaron. He signals for me to keep quiet. Hey, Ring!
What?
The dragon looks like he's about to break the mop in half. He heaves for a moment before putting two and two together. He doesn't break the mop, but he does throw it to the side and starts running towards us. The man next to me takes his hood off and walks to meet him, getting scooped up in a big hug almost immediately.
Talon, you're home!
That I am. Sorry I took so long. But, you're kind of crushing me. Kanto doesn't loosen up, even while Silver pats his back. I can tell that they're enjoying it. Kanto lets him down for a moment, but not before peppering Silver's face with kisses. The sight warms even my cold and artificial heart. Wow. I haven't known Ring long, but I didn't think that he could be so loving. Aaron leans in closer to me. He's been gone for almost 4 months. It's been a while since he's been away for so long. I see. Well, I'm happy that they're together again. It's nice to see. That it is. It might be my imagination, but I think there's a twinge of sadness in his response.
When did you get back?
2 days ago, but I needed some time to unpack everything and meet with the boss. He gestures over to Aaron. Plus, I wanted to make sure to keep his surprise party a surprise. This was your idea? Well, sorta. I thought it'd be a good way to decompress after the past few months. I could definitely use some of that.
Mission go okay? You didn't get hurt, did you?
He circles around the fox with a bit of worry. Cut me some slack. No, I didn't get hurt. Everything went off without a hitch. It just took a really long time to set up is all. He cracks his neck and tries to loosen up. Definitely the most annoying hit I've done yet. According to the boss, it should stunt their plans for the rest of the year. I blink. That's impressive. A hit, huh? Who did he kill? The fox notices me staring at him. What about you, Cyrus? Are you holding up well? More or less. Happy to be out of that hellhole. I can relate. Just stick with them. They'll keep you safe. Absolutely.
Yeah. Enough about work. We should get this party started.
It's later this afternoon.
Then consider it pregame. My treat.
Just make sure you enjoy yourself later.
Oh, you don't need to worry about that, hon. I know I will.
Kanto picks Silver up from behind, which causes the fox to flail a little. Hey, I don't like being picked up.
Just this once. It's been far too long.
Babe. The two lovebirds move down the bar and get to chatting, catching up on everything from the past few months. Aaron chuckles and I can't help but smile. They're good for each other. Well, Cyrus, you want to get anything to drink before we finish setting up? I could try to make you that Long Island drink you mentioned. I did a little research last night to try to recreate it. Oh, that's very thoughtful of you, Aaron. You know what? Sure, that'll be great, Aaron. Thanks. No trouble at all, Cyrus. If I know those two lovebirds at all, they'll want to share a cocktail together. This will just take a second. The tiger starts whipping everyone's orders up with a great deal of flair. He's really good on his feet. Despite what they do for work, they find time to have moments of levity. I could learn a thing or two from them. Aaron interrupts my inner monologue by sliding my drink into my peripheral. Here you are, O valued customer. I hope you like it, but let me know if it tastes off or anything. I chuckle before grabbing the drink. This time it has a green umbrella. Thanks, Aaron. Cheers. Cheers. We all bring our drinks together with a clink before I take a solid swig. I smack my lips a few times. Ah, yep, that's alcohol, alright. Well, how is it? It's alcohol, but it tastes good, so you definitely made it right. Phew, glad to hear it. I made a few last night, but they all smelled strange. You didn't taste them? No, I can only handle virgin drinks, being a cat and all. Ah, right. I definitely know a thing or two about that. I start imagining Aaron drunk after a few sips of cocktail. As much as I like him, I wouldn't want to be the one to help him home, that's for sure. So, what else do you need us to do for today? Let me think. To be continued. So, I need water. So, that was chapter 10 of Remember the Flowers. I should just start calling them chapters because they are chapters. So what'd you guys think? Do you like the new character that's been introduced? Which would be Silver/Talon, since we already know their real name. And they're technically Kanto/Ring's boyfriend, significant other. Hop skip in the chew toys. But yeah. Hey, that's me. Ha ha ha. But yeah. So I don't know what voice I will settle on for him, because he's a fox. So I'm gonna try to make him sound sort of like, sneaky, cool, sort of like, I don't know, like what you would think a fox would sound like. And but yeah, so that voice might change eventually, or I might find someone to do that voice for me. But I am... Okay, this is based on what Orion told me, because we do talk about the visual novel from time to time when he gives me like the lines for Ring. And he did tell me that Talon/Silver, the fox, will be a bit more involved with Cyrus for reasons that will become apparent in chapter 11, the next update. So I am more curious about this fox and his motives and why he's so interested in Cyrus, because it looks like he was maybe tailing him or just like shadowing Cyrus. So I'm curious if that will be explained, maybe. But yeah, also it was cute when Kanto eventually realizes that his boyfriend's back. It's like, yay, my boyfriend's back. Because yeah, after you don't see somebody for 4 months, you're gonna wanna run up and hug them and pepper them with kisses. So also we got to see that Aaron and Xavier did have a thing. They moved in together, so it was pretty safe to say that they were a couple, or at the very least very serious, right up there. And I guess his, it is explained that his overprotectiveness and pretty much everyone else's overprotectiveness is because they care about Cyrus and they don't want him to have to go through what he went through again. I kind of foresee that perhaps he will, but it might be willingly, maybe, because I'm pretty sure that once Aaron realizes that Xavier might be alive, and that there might be a plan that gets hatched that might have to involve Cyrus, and maybe involve Cyrus going back to Resume in order to figure out where Xavier is, because apparently if you escape and they catch you, they're gonna stick you somewhere quote unquote safer where you're never gonna get out again. And the only way to find out where that is if Cyrus goes back in. So that's what I think is going to happen. If Orion or Jericho would like to, confirm or deny that, you guys have my Discord. But anyways, yeah. So what else? Also, it is interesting to see that not everyone has that same sort of mindset revolving Lance Cooper, that he's not entirely the bad guy. He's the victim of circumstance, I guess. Kind of. We all already had that sort of idea that Cooper is not entirely bad. He just does stupid stuff. And that he's pitiful for it, I guess. So, I believe, because the main menu screen is still here. It's still here for a reason, aside from the fact that they haven't been able to, change it. So my assumption is that it's become more of a we know that they're going to be reunited, and we know that Cooper or Lance is not going to be outright evil. So I'm curious to see how that's going to happen eventually. How when Cooper / Lance has this little moment of you know what, maybe I should stop being such an asshole. I'm assuming it's going to be when he, reunites with Cyrus, and when it's not going to be sort of yay, the human and the wolf are back. It's going to be Cyrus is going to be you fucking asshole, you try to sell me. I may be slightly happy to see you again, but I do not want to see you. But yeah, I guess we're gonna have to wait and see, for chapter 11, for chapter 12, 13, 14, 15, what comes up in the future when we get to see when they eventually, get reunited. But anyways, so yeah. So, comments, write down what you thought of chapter 10. Because I'm gonna start calling them chapter 10, not updates anymore. And what your predictions for the future are. What, if anything, you have to say about the new character, Silver / Talon, Kanto. It should have been obvious to me, because when he was introduced as a dragon. I'm talking about Kanto. And he's well, that's a very interesting design for a dragon. They're oh, well, he's part cat, so that, that makes sense. The little stubby ears, the paws. Looking at it now, it's yeah, I see it. I see the cat and the dragon. But yeah. I wonder if there's other hybrids, or if they're going to be introduced. Anywho, so again, comments. And thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to play Remember the Flowers yourself, you can find it over on itch, and you can find a direct link to it from the Remember the Flowers Twitter page, and which will be linked down in the description. And you can also subscribe to their Patreon and get early access to builds of Remember the Flowers. So you will be able to read chapter 11 like I did, because I am a Patreon, and you can see what happens next. And trust me, it's worth it, especially if you want to find out more about Silver / Talon. And well, yeah, it helps to support the project and to tell them that, yeah, we like your visual novel and we're thankful for it, so here is some money. I think you can also pay for the itch build, but from what I've heard from Zordy, who also gets paid through itch, for people that donate, I guess you could call it as a donation, it's not a lot of money. They take a cut from it, so it might be more beneficial to do it through Patreon, but it's your choice. Anywho, so I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.